Good morning, everybody. This is Gary, the fist pump guy, coming to you from this body of water next to an overpass. The question is, what could I be doing here? Stay tuned for more. So what could this venture be, this new hobby that I had, the fist pump guy has? Everybody knows me from my car videos, my funny videos, those kind of things, but I'm gonna take up a new hobby, a new venture per se. I happened across Facebook one day and I saw this video and I thought it was interesting, so I watched the whole thing. It was about magnet fishing. So essentially, you have a heavy duty magnet, which today I'm gonna be fishing with a 380 pound force magnet. Now, obviously, this isn't going to get everything I need to get. Try to get out of the body of water. So essentially what you do is you hook this to the bottom of here, you toss it in the water like you're fishing, and hopefully something magnetic comes up. Now, obviously, I'm going to try to video this and put a great video out for you guys. And for those of you that are subscribers of mine already, please stay around, because I definitely going to try to keep putting out car videos. But hopefully this will pick up some new subscribers for me, because there's not a lot of people doing this right now that I know of, and I definitely want to be one of those that is on the forefront of it. So let me show you some of my stuff I have. Now, I went out and bought a bunch of supplies because I didn't want to come to the river with just one simple magnet. So I have a few 300 pound plus magnets. I have pliers, extra rope, that kind of stuff. Now today I'm going to be fishing with this blended braided rope. It's a thinner rope. I think this one's 100 foot, this one's 3/8 inch. Now I have some bigger rope that I'll be using in the future, but I do have a bigger magnet coming. Should be here tomorrow. It's going to be a 1,500 pound magnet. So if I'm not able to get everything today, then hopefully I can come back and possibly use that magnet to get it. Now I hope you can hear me, because I'm not going to use my mics today. I'm next to an overpass here, so there's a lot of traffic going by. So what's my other supplies? I have a bag full of stuff I've purchased over the past week or two, quick links, things like that I'm gonna need. Also, I'm finally gonna use this Akaso 4K camera that my brother-in-law got me. Thanks, Boots, I appreciate it. Haven't really used it a lot, so I'm gonna use it on a headgear and record everything that I'm doing along with my camera and my tripod, and try to put this video together to help you see what I'm doing. Also, I have a trusty cup of coffee because it's early in the morning, and the bucket is primarily for anything metal that I pull up that I plan on keeping, maybe recycling or whatever the case may be. But keep in mind, this may look boring to most people, or sound boring, because the people I've been telling about what I was going to do, they kind of looked at me a little crazy. But the more videos I watched, the more interesting it got, because I was anxious for whatever was being pulled out of the water next. So today I'm not going to fish from a bridge today because this is my first time, and I wanted you to be around for my first time doing this. So I'm going to shoot it from the bank here. Now this is a very popular spot. Okay, this river's, you know, obviously it's a big river here in Alabama. But this is a very popular spot. A lot of people swim through here and fish through here. So I plan on finding some stuff. I just don't know what it is. So I'm gonna try to guess what my first find will be. I'm guessing it'll probably be either a knife or some type of nail. But stay tuned. You're gonna check it out with me for further stuff from the Fist Pump Guy on magnet fishing. Okay, so it looks like I'm recording right now. I'm actually looking at it here, so I know what I'm doing. Keep in mind, this is my first time, so I hope that nobody's making fun of me or anything like that right now. But you know, keep some comments in there. Kick some comments down in the bottom section, down in the comments, and subscribe and share to my channel if you would, if you're not already a subscriber, because I definitely want to grow this channel, and the way to do that is to continue to put videos out. So it helps when you guys are subscribing and commenting for me. Alright, so you're going to be with me for my very first throw, okay? So I'm just going to throw this out there, we're going to drag it back and see what happens. I almost threw my rope in there for the first time. Alright, so I guess what you do is just let it sink to the bottom and pull it out. doubt I get something on the first throw, but you know, who knows. We'll try it and see. And by the way, I'm wearing gloves. These are rubber grip gloves, and it helps because if you grab anything metal, then you don't have to worry about it breaking or cutting you or anything like that. So, and I'm gonna continue to look over here until I get this thing under control, until I know what I'm doing. All right, so let's try this again. That first throw was ugly. I almost threw all my rope in there, so I got it now. Got it now, so let's look at it. Ready? All right. That throw wasn't real good either. And I watched a couple of videos on this, trying to see how well these guys did it. And most of them do it from a bridge, so you typically are able to get something else from the top than you are from just throwing it in like this from the side. I do need a double-sided magnet, which I plan on ordering sometime soon. But this is a lot harder to do it like this when you don't have when you're not dropping it in. So I'm really just out here for practice for the first time. So hopefully I'll get something here soon to make it worth my while. You know, this is probably one of those things where, just like regular fishing, you know, if you don't get anything the first few times you do it, you're ready to move to a different spot. But who knows? You know, you never know what you're going to pick up metal-wise in these waters. People floating down the river, losing stuff, that kind of thing. Well, this is 3. That was 3 throws, and I haven't got anything yet, so we're gonna keep throwing because that's part of it. Well, I've tried to pick a body of water that wouldn't be too close to people, so that way it didn't wake anybody when I was shooting video, because I'm not using a mic, so I gotta talk a little louder. But let me unknot this rope. I guess this rope's too long for this spot, so I'm using a 100-foot rope now because I wasn't sure where I'd be going, and this magnet's not very heavy either, so it may not be the right magnet for this area. But like I said, I'm just doing this for practice right now because I haven't done this before, and some of these guys has been doing it a while, but I really need an area where I can drop it in instead of throwing it in like this. But we're gonna continue to try to do it here until I get some practice, and then we may go to a different spot later. We used to come out here and go swimming, not here, but up the river there a little bit. A long time ago. I don't typically get in rivers too much anymore. Like I said, if it wasn't for doing this, I probably wouldn't be out here either. One thing you gotta look for around here, you gotta look for some snakes. I don't do snakes very well. I hate spiders worse than I hate snakes, but well, that's about 5 or 6 throws. I've seen people throw 20 times and not get anything. So we'll just keep trying until we figure this thing out. Now, like I said, this rope's not real heavy, so if I were to get something, I should be able to feel it. But when I get that bigger magnet, that's going to be the telltale sign if there's anything out here. And like I said, right now I should be using a double-sided magnet right now. So basically, what I'm doing is just kind of doing like you would do on a catfish line. You're trying to feel the tug of something. The problem is, if you do pick up something with a smaller magnet, there's a chance that something could drag it off. So that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Still nothing. All right, that's about 6 throws. Further and further while I unknot my rope. So obviously I've learned some lessons already. this rope may be a little long for this area, so I could probably cut this and splice it. I definitely need a double-sided magnet for these type of throws. I probably need to go find a more backroads place where I can, fish off the bridge. But if you see me looking around a lot, I'm making sure there's no snakes or anything crawling up on me. And heck, in our neck of the woods, very well you could run across an alligator, but with this splashing and stuff, I don't think I have to worry about that too much. Alright, so I'm going to probably do about 3 or 4 more throws and then try to find some place else that I can go that's not going to be so tough throwing, and be able to drop it down somewhere, because I think that's part of the problem here. And I do have I don't know if y'all can see this right here, I do have a little belt clip that I'm going to tie this on if I ever get to the spot where I need to, tie it off. But like I said, this area here should have some stuff in it, but it's more shallow here than some of the other areas. So at the end of the day, this may not have been the right spot anyway. I just knew that this would be a good spot for my first video because there's not a lot of people around, and I knew I could get down here pretty easily. See, the problem is when you're dragging it, even if you pick something up, so the easiest thing to do is just to lower it like that right there and try to pick stuff up. So let's just try to do that a couple times to see if there's anything down here. And like I said, this is a single-sided magnet, so oftentimes when you're doing it like that, you don't really pick up anything. So let me give it a couple more throws, and then we'll probably get out of here and try somewhere else. Now I will tell you that these magnets, these are pretty strong. These 300 plus pounds, but I know oftentimes these bigger ones are really strong, so you got to be careful getting your fingers pinched and stuff like that. Especially if you got kids or something, because you definitely don't want them to get a hold of one of these magnets. So there is some precaution there. The precaution I take is using gloves if I get any metal. And these are thick rubber gloves. And that way, these are also cold weather, so if I decide to do some of this during the winter time, it would definitely benefit me. Alright, so I'm gonna walk over here one time and see if there's anything else down this way that I can get on before I go. And I hate walking across rocks because you never know what's out there. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna call this one a wrap. Alright, so I'm gonna walk down here, this little trail here. It's a spot where me and my oldest daughter went when she was a kid. We went metal detecting. I did find some metal down here a few times, so hopefully today that's what we'll find. Looks like there used to be a bridge or something that came across here, so there's really not much telling. I know there's some rebar and stuff down here because of the bridge. So I guess the question is what are we, and up there on the hill there's a motocross track, I believe, and this area used to flood a lot. It's flooded quite a few times down here, and so there's no really telling what you'll find, but I can tell you right there, I'm looking at, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some rebar sticking out of the ground right there from the old bridge. Now I've gone up here before and walked up here with my metal detector and found a few things, but let's dip through here and see if anything's got hung up in here, because this is actually a pretty cool area. Hopefully I won't find any animals or anything lurking. So I'm not really going to get all my rope out. I'm just going to start dipping. And see if there's anything in these rocks besides a snake or a snapperhead. Try turtle, that is, for those of you that might not know. Could walk on up to the bridge. I was just curious, because there's all kinds of stuff to get hung up in these rocks here, and you never know, because you could reach down in here and pull up a shell or maybe even an arrowhead or something out in this area, because there's a lot of them in this area. A lot of people like to do arrowhead finding by digging in the dirt. I may do some of that at some point in time, but as of right now, I'm not. So this is pretty cool. Look how this little stream comes across. I'm gonna step across right there, and maybe there's no snakes or anything resting where spilled my coffee, where I would be throwing. So I'm going to drop this down here a few times, see if there might be something down in here. You know, I guess the bad part about this particular hobby is obviously I know I don't have all the tools I need. It's hitting that first big thing to make it seem like it's worth your while. But what's funny is it's still fun. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? You got to be careful with these rocks too, because I can feel it dragging. You know, even when you don't get the results you want to, it's still, you can come out here in nature, and that's pretty deep right there. And come out here in nature and, you know, just relax. I do have my phone on me, so if there's an emergency from my wife, that I would be able to get her message, her phone call. But you know, today's one of those days I can come out here early in the morning and I got something here. Feels like some metal here. I can't tell if it's a metal or a rock hang up. And the problem is this string with this smaller magnet may not pick it up. And I don't want to reach my hand down in there because I don't know what in the world, but it's a couple feet deep, but it feels like it's either dragging against rock. It may be a rock there cut through here, I guess. Yeah, that must be what it is, because I can't seem to get a grip. But I've always wondered what's under these rocks and stuff. You know, you can always find something down here. Yeah. I was just curious. There may not be anything here. I was just curious, really. Just curious. And sometimes when you're dragging, it feels like when you're dragging it against a stick, that when you drag it, it hits a stick, you think you got something. So I'm gonna put my gloves on, because I don't need any flesh-eating bacteria. And I sure hope this is recording fine. Like I said, this is a trial and error deal for me, because this is my first time. But most of you guys that watch my videos know I can talk. So typically I have a little more experience in cars, but you know, watched a couple videos, not a professional at this yet. But it's funny how the water is, you know, water's so strong and powerful that it can actually cut through the rock and leave smooth rock and stuff. That's pretty neat. Alright, let's head on down. We're gonna walk up here a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to get soaking wet today. There may be a time where I might, but I have gotten wet through here before, because we have gotten we got in here and dug in some of these crevices in these rocks. Me and my oldest daughter when she was younger, and I didn't really find a whole lot other than some cool rocks, because like I said, when the rocks get cut up by the water, sometimes it leaves them really smooth, and you'll find that from time to time. Alright, the bridge is on up there. I could probably get there, but let me drop this a couple times in here to see See if anything got trapped in the waterways. Like I said, this river, this little stream here, comes off a pretty big river, heads to a pretty big river, and it has flooded before, so a lot of times you can find all kinds of debris up and down here because of that. So let's try to do this without getting too soaking wet. I do have waterproof boots on, but if it gets up to my ankles, I'm not too fond of that, so I'm gonna hop without falling. Ooh, almost fell in there. And then let's walk up here a little bit. That's the primary reason I wanted to come out here, because I knew at some point I would, and I may do some more out here, but this is where me and my daughter went at one time for 1 or 2 times for magnet, my magnet finder, my metal finder, and she liked it. It's nice out here, and that's why I'm out here. I don't know if there'd be anything in here or not. That's I guess the aggravating and the fun part about this is, you know, you could throw your magnet just about anywhere and hopefully you pick up something. But this is a lot cleaner than I thought it was going to be. Of course, when you drag across rocks, it seems like you got something, you really don't. But the beauty of that is it's the thrill of the hunt, I guess. How am I going to get through here now without getting soaking wet? Let's see if I can do this without breaking my neck here. And this is probably the biggest thing for me. I might have to go back through the woods, because that probably ain't gonna happen there. I don't want to get soaking wet. But is that a dead spider? Yeah, I don't do spiders. So I'm gonna trek back through here, because like I said, these waterproof boots will help me out a little bit. I was gonna wear my big rubber boots, but didn't want to wake up everybody in the house. Woo! Almost fell in right there. So let's go back up here and we'll just we'll play around a little bit and see what we got, and go from there. I just want to find one thing that'll. Oh, there went my foot. So officially got my socks wet, because that went up past my top of my boot. A lot of people come down here just to swim and stuff, because like I said, this is not very deep by any means, and you can bring your kids out here as long as there wasn't no snakes out here, and be able to walk up and down the river, because it doesn't appear to be a lot of metal or anything in here that's would hurt the kids. But I think that's why a lot of people come out here and swim, is for that reason. When you're dragging this, you don't know if it's a rock or if it's a piece of metal. So that's why dropping it's probably better. You know what I mean? But still, even then, I can still feel rocks. So I'm not really sure if this is productive to me or not, but it still seems fun exploring and stuff. And I'm not getting any younger, so I definitely needed a hobby, because my basketball days are pretty much over. Between my knees and my back, I don't do so well out there on the hardwood anymore. So I pretty much don't do it after I hurt my shoulder a few years back. So that was enough of that. So let's hop back through here and see if I can do this without falling in again. All right. Well, good thing is, the only thing I got wet was part of my sock. And this is a peaceful sound too. Let me pick up my coffee cup. I don't like leaving trash. I really wish I could get to that other bridge, but I guess it eventually fell down or tore down. But you can see, like, a piece of wood there probably got washed up here somehow from some of the high waters or floods that we've had. Yeah, this piece right here is like part of an old bridge. Some bricks, some rebar. Like I said, it used to probably come through here because this town's, there's an old, I don't know how old this is, but this town's pretty old here. And so there's no telling what you could actually find out here if you did some exploring. But I see some rebar sticking out the thing right there. Let's see if I can hit something over here. That's part of the old bridge right there, I think, sticking out of the water. But that's not going to help me because I see it all sticking out. So right here would be a dangerous place to probably swim if you were going to swim out here. See it right there? That's a bad piece of metal, could really hurt somebody. But I imagine that nobody really cared too much about that when they were tearing it down. Disappointing. I haven't really found anything. I don't care if it was just a nail. I just want to find one thing. And I know I've seen a couple of videos, people doing this for hours in some places and not really catching much, but like I said, I feel a bunch of rocks down here. I don't really feel, and I think part of it's because my magnet's not strong enough. So once I get that other magnet, I think I'll be able to maybe get some more opportunities for bigger stuff if I get a bigger magnet. Because these pulling powers of these magnets are good even with this 300, but if you get dragging across something, you very well probably lose it even if you did have something. Now, I know this water's pretty loud right here, but just trying to find something. Let's do it in some of these little crevices here. And you know, the good thing about this kind of sport is you'd never be able to exhaust all the water. So even if a bunch of people started doing this, not everybody would, what have we got? I don't know what it is, but I'm happy to see you. Let's see if that was metal too. It's like a small piece of rebar. Nope, that's a stick. Okay, so this, I don't know what that is. You know, if I pick up something that you might know what it is, let me know. It's probably just a small piece of rebar for some of this, but who knows how old this stuff is too. So I'm gonna toss this over here and take it in my bucket. And in the comment section, if y'all see something I pick up and you know what it is and I don't, let me know. Drop me a comment, share my videos. Like I said, I already put out videos all the time, so it's not like I'm new to video. It's just I'm new to this kind of video. So let's see if we can't. I'm gonna definitely keep that one for my scrap because I haven't. Here, this was this. I didn't feel nothing there. Because I definitely want to keep my first piece that I found. That's kind of exciting. Now I kind of feel a little fulfilled because I did find something. Let's see if we can find something else. Now look down, I see some small stuff, but I don't think any of that's magnetic by any means. Let's go back down here because I hadn't. I'm gonna just play around in this area for a minute, see if we find something. And I definitely, I ordered some more clips too. I don't like these quick link clips here. These, they're a little heavy. I got some of the other kind coming that have the, like these that have the little lock on it. I got some of those coming, should be here Monday. So I won't be using these anymore probably. It causes the magnet to twist too much. So, because you don't want one too big, especially I don't want one that's heavier than a magnet. And at some point in time, I might take my GoPro camera here, my little GoPro light camera, and put it in the water with it. Hopefully it won't mess up. I'm just going to take some of these crevices because you never know what gets trapped in these things. Water lower and rising. Could be anything. But you know, you definitely knew that one. When I hit that metal thing, it definitely latched on. So hopefully I can feel that through this rope. I don't know what that is. There's something right there, but I think it's just might just be a piece of wood. I can feel it. I don't know if that's a rock or what, but it's there's something down there. I don't know if this magnet would pull it up anyway. Can't tell if it's hanging on a rock or. I'm gonna have to come back with my bigger magnet for that. I don't know what that is. It may have just been a rock, I don't know. Kind of deep right there. I guess with all that water washing it out. Whew. You wouldn't think this would be that tiring, but I guess tossing this magnet around, and I guess it's like fishing. If you do too much fishing, it could probably wear you out too. See, I think all that's rock right there, the way it's catching my magnet. Yeah. Oh, what we got? Woo! Woo! It's like an old railroad spike. Like I said, I don't know how old these. It could have came off that bridge though. But that's two pieces. Two pieces. I'm gonna toss that over there. I got my bucket for that reason. I'm gonna toss this back in that area and see if there's anything else hung up in there. All right, so I don't know how fun that was for you, but for me it was kind of fun, kind of adventurous. I probably spent a total of 30 to 45 minutes fishing these two areas. Like I said, this is my first time, so you're a part of that. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Now, I noticed that a couple things that I messed up. Obviously, the GoPro I had. I'm gonna turn it off so it don't the battery don't drain. Was attached to my head, and it wasn't angled down enough, so obviously you missed the thing. So I may need to do a chest mount, which is what I've been seeing most people do. But I did find two things. You weren't able to see them on camera. Is this it's like a long metal spike. maybe some rebar, something like that. If you know what this is, I said this in my video, but you couldn't see it. You know, drop a comment or whatever that may be. It really don't look like much other than that. And then this is I said it, but I didn't show it. This is like it looks like it's an old, maybe a railroad spike, or it could be for like old wooden bridge. So that's probably old to some extent. It's a little worn on it, but those are the first two things I caught. And something else I learned is to bring a bigger magnet, because even though this magnet's okay, I need a double-sided magnet and I need a bigger magnet. Now my big magnet will be here hopefully tomorrow. It's a 1,500 pound magnet, which is the biggest single-sided magnet I could find. And then they offer there is a 3,600 pound double-sided magnet, which the company was out of. And the more I learn about magnets, the better. And I'll start sharing that with some links and stuff. But I've got a couple varieties of magnets now. At the end of the day, it's trial and error. I appreciate you guys being with me this first time. And let's go celebrate fall of the fist pump.